Hi, I'm ThatPaulGuy, and it's Thursday. It's Thursday, October 10th, 2019. There's a lot of stuff going on, so we're just going to jump right into it. In space news today, the Mission Extension Vehicle, the MEV-1, was launched yesterday from the Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. That's actually kind of fun to say, the Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. I can't say that 3 times fast, though. It was launched with a communications satellite, but that's not going to be its mission. Its actual mission is going to be to link up with the Intelsat 901 that's been in orbit since about 2001. This satellite has been up there for quite a while, and it's almost out of fuel. And so the MEV-1 is going to link up with this satellite and actually be its guidance system for a little while, push it into a different orbit, thus extending the life of the Intelsat until about another 5 years or so. So we actually now have satellites that are repairing other satellites in space. So that's a pretty interesting thing. After it gets done moving the Intelsat 901 to a different orbit, or putting it in a more stable orbit to keep it up there for a while, the thought process is that it can now go on to another satellite and do the same thing, make minor repairs, refuel, moving whatever it needs to be doing, and it can do this for as long as the MEV-1 can stay in orbit itself. This is the first, it could be the first of many. You could be seeing MEV-2s or 3s or whatever, but now we have satellites that are up there fixing other satellites. So it's probably going to save millions of dollars doing something like this, and we'll just have to stay tuned and kind of see. And other space news, the head of NASA, Jim Bridenstine, kind of called out the CEO of SpaceX, Elon Musk, the other day. Elon, if you guys missed it, on the 28th of September, announced his plans for the Big Falcon rocket, which is the actual rocket the Starship that will be taking man to Mars and to the moon. It's a very large ship that can hold up to 100 people, plenty of cargo and stuff like that. Jim thought that was a really, really nice plan, but wanted to know what was going on with all the delays of the current SLS program that's supposed to be taking crewed missions up to the ISS. Well, Elon just quietly reminded him that he's not the only person that's a head of a CEO of a company that's contracted with the government to send manned missions up to the ISS, Boeing. Not going to say anything about another government contractor that's been doing it for decades, but they'll be talking over the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens there, and if feathers get smoothed back over. But they wouldn't. It was maybe, I don't know, a little bit of sore feelings there. Who knows? The fact of the matter is that SpaceX and Boeing both have missions that should be going up in December that will take manned missions up to the ISS, and hopefully that will be the start of something soon, and you'll start having crews taking off from the United States on ships or rockets from the U.S., from American soil. So we'll see how that goes. And tech news, on the heels of Intel announcing the price cuts for their Cascade Lake CPUs, the 10 series CPUs that we talked about, they roughly 50% or so price reduction, or there's going to be a 50% less price on those than there would be normally if they came out. The 9 series came out, they were quite a bit more expensive. The current 9 series, or the Coffee Lake processors, the 9000 series, are getting a price cut as well. They're going to get roughly a 20% discount or so, maybe a little bit more in some places. But that's pretty welcome news. That stuff that's already out there on the shelves is going to be getting reduced in price to kind of compete, obviously, head-to-head with AMD. So ain't competition grand. They also have kind of hinted at the release of their new discrete graphics processor, which is supposed to be coming out next year. The head of their graphics division, Roger Kodori, has a Tesla registered in California that now has a vanity plate that says Think Z. XE is the model name, or the project name of their discrete graphics cards that should be released sometime next year. And the expiration date on this vanity plate is June of 2020, 2020. So we'll see if that's a hint at those coming out in 2020, or an announcement being made in 2020, or whatever the deal might be. But that's roughly the time of the Consumer Electronics Show. So we'll see if announcements are made or anything else comes out about it. But for right now, he just tweeted out the photo of his brand new license plate on his Tesla, and we think it's kind of a hint of things to come. So that's nice. The good thing is, one thing is Intel is looking to compete directly with NVIDIA and AMD with products that are already out, of course with ray tracing and with high processing power and stuff like that. So they're looking at coming right out of the gate with these graphics processors, and we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. AMD does have news of its own though. They've announced 2 more processors and 1 more graphics unit. The processors are the the Ryzen 5 3500X and the Ryzen 9 3900 No X. The 3900X is already available here in the United States. And there's your clue right there. They've also announced the GPU, which is going to be the RX 5500. Now the 5500 is going to be on par or just a little bit better than the current Polaris video cards that do 1080p gaming. It's going to look to replace those cards that have been out for 3 or 4 years now, and they are good cards. I did a video on a review of one of them, but they are good cards, but they are aging, and they're going to be replaced with the new RDNA infrastructure that AMD has. So the cards are available now. And I say that because they're not available here now. These are only going to be for OEM builds or manufacturer builds of complete systems that are being built and made in China right now. So we're not going to see them here in the US. They might be putting the graphics cards, board partners might produce these graphics cards later this year, but both the CPUs and the GPU are only going to be for full builds that are currently in China, and we'll just have to see what happens after that, if they become available anywhere else. Who knows? Maybe there is a lot of speculation that the RX 5500, the graphics card, will be released in the US, but not so much as the other processors. If you own a Pixel 3 or a Pixel 4, Google's Pixel 3 or Pixel 4 phones, you're probably pretty happy with them right now. They got the new Android 10 update, simply called Android 10Q, because presumably they couldn't think of a name of a dessert that started with Q. So the name of it is simply Android 10Q. These are available, or the update is available now on those, and presumably within the next couple of months we'll see it on other products. It's going to depend on your phone carrier or the manufacturer of your tablet, stuff like that. But we should see that soon. But at least for the Pixel 3 and Pixel 4 owners, they get it right now. And if you don't have a Pixel 3 and you're looking for one, right now I believe they're $50 off on Amazon. So you might have to look and double check on that, but I did hear a rumor, and I think I saw somebody, I believe it was UFD Tech out of South Africa, that was talking about that the other day, that the Pixel 3 was on sale for $50 off. So you might have to double check, but they do have the Android 10 update, so that's good news for them, and maybe good news for us eventually. In gaming news, we're only a few days away from Overwatch being on the Nintendo Switch. October 15th is supposed to be the release date of this. It's highly anticipated, all that stuff. They've made a big deal about this, so much that they're really wanting to try to push it, and they're saying that anybody that buys it and plays it by December 31st is automatically going to get a loot box. Surprise mechanics. They're going to get a loot box, but they're saying this is not any kind of the deal or swindle or anything like that. They guarantee that everybody's going to get at least one legendary item in their loot box. So it's going to be available starting October 15th. They want you to get it and play it, presumably for the holiday holiday season. This will be good, because if you do play it by December 31st, you automatically get their loot box. So that maybe that'll be nice. There's still no word on any kind of cross-saving in between systems. So if you're playing it on PS4, you're playing it on Xbox, or you're playing it on the Switch coming up, or PC, you're going to have to stick to saving it on those platforms. Blizzard doesn't seem to have any notion or any word about if they're going to do any kind of cross-saving or something like that for right now. So yeah, you got what you got. So, but for at least for Nintendo Switch users, they will be able to join everybody else in playing Overwatch. The highly anticipated Red Dead Redemption 2 will be available on PC starting November 5th. It will be available through Rockstar's portal or their game launcher. You can purchase it through there. You should also be able to purchase it through things like Humble Bundle, and I believe it's Epic and a few others. The only one that pretty much that will not be able to have it on November 5th will be Steam. I'm not sure if there's bad blood there or what's kind of going on. It's supposed to be an exclusive, but when you're an exclusive and you let everybody else sell it except for one, it's not really an exclusive. It's more of, well, I don't know, it's an excluding. So we'll see what happens, but Steam will be able to have access to this and sell it in December. but they are going to miss the November 5th date. Even the Google Stadia, the streaming game service, is going to have this at launch. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see what the reaction is and the feedback. But for right now, November 5th, available primarily. You're going to have, if you're on PC, which is being released for, when you're on PC, you're going to have to use the Rockstar launcher to launch this anyway. So I imagine most people are just going to purchase it through that. And finally today, just days after Sony reminded us that not to take the naming scheme for granted, that their current next generation gaming console is Project Prospero, and we need to call it that. Just days later, they have gone ahead and confirmed that the PlayStation 5 will indeed be the name of the new system, and it will be available in holiday season of next year. So holidays of 2020, the new PlayStation 5 will be released and ready. It is supposed to have AMD hardware on the inside of it. It's supposed to have 8K gaming at 60 frames per second. It's supposed to have ray tracing and a lot of extras. It's supposed to have solid state drives instead of spinning hard drives, which will make it much, much quicker loading and all that. It's supposed to be more nimble as far as downloading content. So if you're downloading games, you're supposed to be able to pick and choose what you want to download to be able to play first. Instead of having a default setting you have to wait for to be able to play anything at all. And they're pretty much saying that this is going to be the user's platform type thing, that they want to make all of us happy. Of course, it's going to be VR ready, but it already is VR ready. The one thing they have not told us about or bragged about so far has been a price. Don't know when that's going to come, but they have announced that it will be available holiday season, and they're wanting us to get on the train now and get ready for it. So here we go. I'm letting you guys know too. Okay, so we finally got through all of it, and really that's all I got for this week. So I know I went through everything pretty quickly, but there was a lot of stuff to cover, and I apologize, folks. But as always, you're welcome to like, you're welcome to dislike, you're welcome to leave me any kind of comments, subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do. I would really, really appreciate it. I want to try to get up around 100 subscriptions by the end of the year, and so I really kind of need you guys' help with that. So if you don't mind, either hit the watermark that's down in the bottom corner of your screen or that red subscribe bar, either one. The little bell icon will tell you when these videos are coming out, and really, that's all I got for right now. So until the next one, folks, I'll see you later.